Good morning, folks. Here's the Campbell Christmas tree. It's a blue spruce this year, very similar to the trees that we get every year in size because we have an 8-foot ceiling, so we can't get a 20-foot Christmas tree. I want to talk to you about something that's kind of revolutionary in Bible interpretation. I have a lot of things to reveal about the Bible, the King James Version especially. But I'm going to make a point. I keep saying I'm going to make this under 5 minutes, so let's try again. But here's the verses that I want you to see. And it has to do with Daniel 9, 26 and the 27th verse. I hope I'm holding the phone right. I got it flipped around today. But it reads, "And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." Now, that sounds pretty terrible, doesn't it? Oh, what's this little guy back here? This is a little Santa Claus guy. We call him Mr. Stick. Hey. And there's Mrs. Jingle up there. There you go. So, that sounds extremely foreboding, doesn't it? Terrible, terrible. Desolation will be determined upon the desolate. Wow. You know what I can read out of that? Determined. Deter. Mind. Determined minded. I have a mindset to deter damage. Pouring upon the desolate, the flood that comes in the end is like the flood of Noah. It created the idea of a righteous man being lifted up and the many being drowned in it. Did you notice the stars at the end of these verses? Those are indicating that this is a prophecy about Christ. Now, when people are translating this, modern theologians, they say, well, this is the Antichrist. So I want you to think about something. If a flood that is poured upon the desolate comes because of the overspreading of abominations, could the flood be that the gospel message of Jesus Christ is finally becoming the end time doctrine for global peace? I think it does. You know why I think that? I think that because when Jesus was crucified, he represented all mankind, the human race, before God. And the beauty of believing that happened is that law of God became representative through Jesus, didn't it? So the desolation, the end of the world as we knew it, as men, as humans, by representation happened on the cross, didn't it? When that's finally realized, then legally the whole world has already had desolation poured upon them. Do you see that? It's done by representation. A sentence was made by the Old Testament. That's just why I can read Daniel and get excited about the good things that are going to happen, because yes, it is in a way about the Antichrist, because anti also means not or ain't. I wonder when the Christians are going to figure out that at the end of the word Christian is the word anti, an anagram. Well, I'm going to help you get there. So what is the benefit of having a desolation poured upon our law? Well, that means that we're going to bring in a law that makes law itself desolate, or the end of the law becoming death and damnation. Well, there again, that doesn't sound very good, but what it does is it reduces the power of the law from the letter of the law to the spirit of the law. God's always been merciful. He's always been loving. He's always been kind. But as soon as mankind began to know how to write and form policies, they used those policies to amass wealth and oppress other people, didn't they? You see it. So the law itself is oppressing, it's restricting. And any form of letters carries with it an expectation. Well, law itself, the ability to write, I think is interpreted aptly in the story of Cain. I think Cain, because he was the offspring of Abel, and was cursed, God put a mark on him, didn't he? I think that's the mark of the beast, guys. And you know what the mark of the beast is? It's intellect. It's the ability to write law, specifically. So the good news, the stars of the story, is that we have 10 commandments in the Old Testament, right, that we can't keep. We don't do very well at those. But we have 2 commandments in the New Testament. We have a summary commandment: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And we have the final commandment, which is love your neighbor as yourself. And guys, ladies, the love of God is the last or the end time. Time is phonetically an anagram of might, strength. So you better go to church. Doesn't matter what faith you are. Just go to church. Sit there. Look at all the people that you can enjoy a peaceful gathering with. Okay, think about what's being taken from us today. And start defending God. And do it through Jesus, the story of Jesus. Christmas is coming. And remember to have patience with the other religions, because it was 3 kings from the Orient. Sounds an awful lot like Taoism that brought those gifts to Jesus. And I'll show you lots of places in the Bible where the yin and the yang show up. You don't believe me because your ears aren't open yet, but I'm going to open them up. And the Holy Spirit's going to do it, not just me. But it comes through wisdom. It comes through reading the Bible. It comes through studying these words. And the end time, guys, is not destruction of mankind. It's salvation of mankind. And we're going to build a space station. That's the New Jerusalem, where the wicked come in and out. You don't believe me, do you? I'm going to finish this little segment. I did go over 5 minutes. I'm going to stop saying that because I never make it. But I'm going to show you the verse that proves it in one verse. Where are you? Hang on. Okay, here's one of them. Revelation 22:11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And then Jesus confirms, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give to every man according to his work shall be. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. And there you go. You got a summary verse that says the unjust and the just will be together. And there's another one here. And it talks about them coming and going for the New Jerusalem. And the reason why we're going to be able to do that is because we have grace and mercy, and we realize that the state of being of humanity is sinful. Sinful just means you can't abide any written law. The reason we can't abide any written law perfectly is because we don't know the whole truth. The whole truth always comes through discovery. This book is incredibly written, and it needs to be studied. Then you'll catch up with me. Take care.